Okay, we're out here middle of February. We're going to give a quick tour of the greenhouse. Had several people asking about it. So it's 12 feet wide, 32 feet long, 2 cow panels long. You'll see that when we get inside. But we're going to take a quick tour of it, quick gander, and see what's in here. We'll start right over here on this side. Come in here. It's all set up on an aquaponics system. You can see in the background there the cow panels. I've got one stood up normal, and then my bow is made out of cow panels. But here in this first grow bed, we've got some strawberries. Put those in about, I guess about 3 days ago. A little bit of cilantro. Have some peppers coming up here. One of them's volunteer, some of them some sweet peppers. We'll just move on down here through here pretty quickly. We've got some volunteers coming up there from last year. Some little old avocado pips that we're trying. I don't think they're going to do anything except rot, but we'll try. Have some asparagus roots here in the back. Probably can't see them very well. They were put out a couple of days ago, so there's nothing green on them yet. A couple of black prim tomatoes and a couple of beefsteak tomatoes. I bought those at Walmart. Most of the stuff I have in here I've started from seeds in little old baggies, you know, first grade science project, so to speak. But I bought these tomatoes the other day, set them out, and we'll see how they do. Down here, here in the front, I've got some broccoli that's coming up pretty good. It's probably a month old or so. Back in the back behind that, I've got a mixture of different greens, some lettuce, some spinach in there, a little bit of everything. On down in the corner, we got a front row is another mixture of greens, and in the back, we've got my snow peas coming up. They're doing pretty good. They're starting to climb now. We'll scan on around here to the other side, and we'll come back to the greenhouse itself and tank. Here I've got some spinach that's starting to do okay. In the back, I've planted some cauliflower yesterday, actually. Moving on down here, and I've got my squash, or actually my zucchini here. It's starting to bloom. I've got a couple of little zucchinis about 1 inch long in there. Moving on down, we've got actually my squash here in this grow bed, and lettuce in the front. You can see the lettuce there. I've got a couple of squash blooms down in there somewhere. A couple of squash about 1.5 to 2 inches long. Coming on down here in the last grow bed, we have some peppermint, some spearmint, some sweet mint down on the end. And then in the very back, you can see we've got a couple little cucumbers back down in here on the back side. Have, I think, 6 cucumbers total back in there, so they can climb on the walls. And then down here in the corner, just got a little old workspace. And then the heater. That's pretty much it. I've got like 25 different varieties of plants in here right now. Quick scan across the middle. We've got a terracotta pot with some parsley in it from last year. In the water trough, in the cattle water trough there, we've got an Israel melon, some little asparagus plants, and some basil growing out there as well. But kind of give you a general overview of what we have. We have 2 cow panels end to end to make my sides, and then over the top I have I took a 16-foot cow panel, cut about 1.5 blocks, actually 2 blocks off the end of it, so it made it about 14.5 feet over my bow. So this, nothing really elaborate. My grow boxes are 2x12s, 2x10s and 2x12s, with landscape timbers or 4x4s, whatever I had at the time, whatever I could come up with. Mostly whatever I had. Built out of a lot of scrap material. Now this pond here, this is my upper tank. This is where my catfish are right now. Down here on the other side, I have a lower pond. lower tank, goldfish in there. I think both of them will end up being catfish though. They seem to do better than the goldfish. Now, the way it works is my water all drains back into this tank here, and then I pump it up that black pipe in the back, the far one, and then it comes across here. It can go two ways. Right in here, it can go two different ways. You can either follow this one onto the tank, to the catfish tank right now, my upper tank, or it can come back down this one here, and you'll see it comes down in there and aerates my lower tank, which this is actually enough aeration for both tanks. But as we come up here, as we follow it on across, we follow it over to the catfish tank. Now it pours into here, pours into my catfish tank, down in underneath there, and then it just gravity feeds out two sides of this. It'll gravity feed out right here to this line of grow beds, or it will gravity feed out the other side, back across here, and start down behind it. You can see a little bit of it here. As you come on down, you can see some more of it here. It'll feed all of my grow beds, just gravity feed. Now, let's come back around here. We're going to start here. We'll gravity feed out of here. Each one of my grow beds has a faucet, a ball valve on it, so that I can control how much water comes in, so I can control the speed at which this thing fills up. And then once this grow bed fills up to a certain point, have my bell siphons here. They will begin to siphon out, and they will dump straight into underneath here. There's an underneath shot of my grow bed. They will dump into this 4-inch pipe, and then feed back down through and into my lower tank again. So really the water just circulates around. Nothing extremely major. But it's turned into one big experiment for me. Kind of interesting. Up here on the wall, I've got my little lab quest from when I was teaching science. I can't see it real good. Right now my ambient temperature is 72.8. My water temperature is 58. It'll warm up throughout the day. And my pH is running right now 8.0. It kind of bounces back and forth between 7.5 to 8. As my system ages, it should drop on down mid-6 range. But there's a quick tour of the greenhouse. Just have plywood across the ends, 3 sheets of plywood. Gets me my 12 feet. Nothing major, but it's kind of interesting. Been fun so far. And if you have any questions, let me know.